Hello, welcome. Thank you for watching. My name is Veronica and this is my 15th Flosstube video. My channel, Veronica X Stitch, I add videos for my cross stitching. So just so you know what you're in for. Hopefully that's what you're here for. It's been about a little under 2 months since my last video, my 14th video, and I was wearing glasses. So since then I have had eye surgery. I had the Visian ICL procedure. And I have another video that I've created on my personal channel, I guess, that I will link up here, I think, and also in the description box below. So if you're really curious to see what that experience was like for me, then it's a much longer video that goes into a lot of detail from the time when all of my prep exams were to after the surgery, and it's I made it because I found similar testimonial videos very informative. Overall, I've been thrilled with the surgery. I can see way better, and I would recommend anybody with severe myopia like what I had, consider it. My vision is perfect for distance vision. Unfortunately, for what I like to do most, stitching, it's not the best, so I've had to go out and purchase some reading glasses. So these are plus 1.25, not terrible though. Actually, don't mind them as much. I think they're kind of cute. Unlike my old glasses, which were distorted in my face. So, and this is only for when I stitch anything smaller than say a 18 count maybe, or 16 count Ada. Those I could do fine without. Or if I use a magnifier, I'm okay too. So, but that's the trade-off. I mean, I'm 40 years old, so it's about time for that anyway, probably. And that's only when I stitch. When I read, I'm fine as long as I, don't hold it right in front of my face like I used to have to. But anyway, moving on, my stitching. What I spent the majority of my time on since my surgery is my the gift that I've been stitching, so I'm not going to show that to you here. I will record a video of that and show it in my future Flosstube. I finished that, so I'm going to take it to be framed, ideally today, if not later, and give that away soon. But yeah, so I can't show that, and I did have some purchases related to that I'm also not going to show because I don't want to spoil the surprise if the person happens to watch my videos, which they may not, but just in case, right? Once I finished that, I worked on a couple of other things, so I'll show those to you now. The first one is called Super Mario by Choco Coco Stitch. I'll zoom in. I'll link in the description box below where you can find this pattern. I purchased it on Etsy, and it was not too expensive. So I'll show you a picture of where I was the last time I showed this in one of my videos, which has been a little while. Here's where I am today. This is on a 14 count light blue Ada. I think it's called Touch of Blue. Hold on a sec. Yeah, Touch of Blue Ada. And 14 count, obviously, because of my eyes. You can see the difference between what I did before and what I did now. I stitched this guy. I stitched a goomba. Let's see. You see that? So, yeah. My kids get real excited whenever I pull this out. They say, I want that in my room. So, problem is it's not I don't know, it's fun, but it's not addictive like some of my other projects are. I don't know if I can describe that, but if you're a stitcher, sometimes you have a project that's just you don't want to stop stitching it. And not that I want to stop stitching this, but it's okay, I'm happy to move on when I can. So the other major thing that I worked on was only two things this time. I can show you. It's my Stargazer by Mirabilia. See, this is MD88, I think. Should get my reading glasses up. MD88. So it's not it's an older pattern, but it's also quite popular now in the stitching community. So I'll show you a picture of where I was last time. In the last, probably wasn't the last video. It was probably a couple of videos ago. Actually, I don't know because it's been so long. And here's where I am now. So unfortunately, I'm not going to show you the whole thing because it's in my frame, and I'm going to put it right back up on this frame and keep stitching it. But I've been working down her dress and doing them in 10 rows at a time. So I'm getting there, but there's still a long ways to go, I think. Try to hold it right side up I try to hold it level the next time I take a screenshot of this. So I am stitching this on 32 count Belfast linen in Mystic by Picture This Plus. So that's all I have for stitching updates as far as like progress reports go. I have a few purchases to share with you. For the most part, the purchases that I made were around the gifts because I was I had missed some things, so I had to go out and buy them or order them, and other things I didn't like after I put them in, so I ripped them out and then put new things in, and I'll explain that in my other video, which I haven't recorded yet, but just in case you're curious. If you, yeah, I won't go into any details about what I stitched because I don't want to give it away too much, but yeah, so that's what most of my purchases were around. And other than that, I've been trying to save money. I did buy a few things though that I do want to show to you. One is I bought this little lamp. So if you watch Cross Stitch with Luda, she showed something like this. So I went out and bought it. I found something similar on Amazon. I don't think it's the same exact thing, but look, it's got a little clip, so you can clip it on something. And when you turn it on in the back, there's a touch light. Turn it on, and if you hold it down, it gets brighter or dimmer. And turn it off again, the tapping. So it's got a, it comes with a cable too, but it's got like a micro USB charger, so you can plug it into a computer. I will link in the description box below where I purchased this on Amazon. It's like only like 20 bucks, I think, but you know Amazon, right? The price varies based on who you are and the time of day and the weather and all sorts of things. So your mileage may vary there, but anyway, I have a trip coming up, and I do have a little travel light, but it's got a plug, so it's not the most convenient thing in the world. So like if I'm in the hotel room, I have to find a place where I can plug it in. And usually desks are okay, but I also want to try to stitch in the airport or airplane if I can. Maybe I'll be able to use that guy. The other thing that I purchased is, I've talked about this in the past, but in October in Ohio, especially the north side of Ohio, all the cross-stitch shops get together and put together the North Coast Tour to Stitch. So I purchased my passport. It was $7. You get the passport, you get a little booklet that has information about each of the shops. It also has a little pattern in it, and you get a little free gift too. Well, free gift. It comes with the $7 passport. I had the choice between a little zippered bag or two needlepoint silks. So I'll show you those. Let's see. This one is called Coral Range. And this one is called Violet Range. So I picked the silks, obviously. And that is in mid-October, so I plan to take a day off of work to try to do some of that. So the shops on this booklet, as you can tell where they're mapped, it's going to be a lot of driving. I'm hoping to find somebody to come with me. Last year I did it by myself and didn't include Cincinnati down here, so it wasn't as bad. This year, I don't know, it was fun, but it was boring driving all that by myself. So I'm going to try to find somebody else who will come along for the ride or who I can hop in the car with. But it's going to be hard to make sure that everyone's on the same schedule and stuff like that. So I don't have much in the way of stitching plans other than I'm going to continue working on Stargazer. I'm not doing Arbitrary August. I think that's a wonderful idea. I just don't like working on something for just one day. I like to work on it for a long time, since I usually get like 10 minutes, if that, a day to stitch. So I'm not going to do Arbitrary August, but I applaud those who do and love that. So good for you. I'm just going to continue working on Stargazer until I travel in a couple of weeks, in which case I'm going to pick a smaller project and bring my lamp. And let's see. Today, this is so getting outside of stitching. We have my company's family picnic, which is going to be at the zoo, so my kids are excited about that. In general, summers are super duper busy for us, so that's why I haven't gotten a lot done. I'm looking forward to getting more done in the winter. I know, like last winter, that's when I finished my portrait of Veronica, and I had some days on it where I think I got like 1,000+ stitches in, which, maybe the norm for some people, but for me, that's just like, whoa, we had, blizzard days where you can't really go outside, you can't really, get all your work done inside, and then, okay, good, get a little extra time to stitch. But in the summer, I feel like we just jam-pack our schedule full of activities. This past week has just been absolute nuts for me. My oldest son turned 9 on the first day of school, so there was all of that. Now that school has started, I'm hoping things get better. I always say that, though, when summer starts, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm hoping things get a little more relaxed now, and it never does. But that's okay, that's life, right? That keeps you on your toes. So going along with the line I always try to say at the end of the videos, think critically, I did want to share some information with you about stuff that's going on right now with the FCC. It's been on the news a little bit, but I also don't watch the news much, so it stresses me out. But if you get a lot of those like robo junk calls from numbers you don't recognize, the FCC is like well aware. It's like their number one complaint by far. The FCC, the Federal Communications Commission, sorry, for those of you who don't live in the United States, is working on sort of cracking down on that. And I'll put a link below so you can read more about it. But they're making it so that phone companies can block the robocalls. And I'm hoping that helps quite a bit, because most of those are junk. Some of them are phishing. Some of them are, I don't know, just, they are people pretending to be somebody they're not. They use the what's called neighborhood spoofing, which if you ever get a call and it looks like it's a local call on your cell phone or any phone, everyone has caller ID now, right? So you see, oh, it's a local area code. Well, maybe it's that, maybe it's that car shop. Maybe my car's ready, or maybe it's my neighbor trying to get in touch with me, or maybe it's somebody from my kid's school. So you tend to pick up because you think that it's a real call because their number is local to you. Well, it turns out they can see who they're calling and pick a number that looks like yours, maybe the first, the area code, or the first area code plus first 3 digits. And then you think it's somebody local, and you pick up and it's not. So that's been a problem. Spoofing is not illegal because there are legitimate reasons for wanting to do it. I think the example on the FCC website was, there could be a doctor who calls a patient from his or her personal phone, and they want it to look like it's the office calling. And, that's a legitimate use because the doctor doesn't want to give away their personal phone. But at the same time, they're busy in their car, they're, at home, and they still need to interact with their patients. So that's in my opinion quite legitimate. But most cases, I think, are not, because it's like you're not telling the truth about who's calling. So it's very frustrating. And so I'm hoping that the FCC allowing the phone companies to block those calls. You can block calls, too, on most phones. The problem is sometimes people spoof a legitimate number. I mean, of course, the chances of that are like, 1 in however many million. I can't do math right now. It's like 6 o'clock in the morning. The only time I can film videos is early in the morning. So I don't know if I got one like call from somebody who was being very nasty to me. saying, you know, how dare you not leave a message, I'm blocking you. I think it was because somebody had spoofed my number. One good thing, too, is that I used to live in Connecticut, so my area code changed now that I live in Ohio. So if I ever get a area code 203 call, it's most likely junk, unless it's somebody who's already in my phone. So I just block those numbers right away. But I could be blocking something legitimate. Don't know. I really hope this all stops. I'm sure you do too. So, anyway, keep thinking critically. Thank you for joining me. I'll see you next time. I'm gonna go now. Bye!